Hi, my name is Jacob Morris Austin. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the military spending in Santa Cruz. Sorry for the bland background. This video is going to be pretty low key. I'm just going to be talking about the military, going over the military spending and my opinions of it. So, to begin, today I wanted to talk to you guys about the way that our city spends money on the military. It's well known that this country spends billions of dollars every year on the military, but it's less known how much of those total contributions come from specific cities and counties. I decided to look into just how much and in what ways the city spends money on military funding, and we'll be going over my findings in this video. The first thing that I noticed, however, is that it appears to be really hard to find military spending data on specific areas of the country, or at least this area. It seems that most of the information is not public data and likely confidential, which is interesting because what do they have to hide? Despite this, I was still able to find some data and make some connections, starting with there's a Lockheed Martin in Santa Cruz. In the forest, a Lockheed Martin can be found nestled in the woods. It's relatively far away from the UCSC campus, thankfully, but it's still unsettling. The website that I found this information on, CLUI, or the Center for Land Use Interpretation, states that the Lockheed Martin that's in the woods does work on the Trident missile, as well as other types of missiles, and that there are several test sites scattered across the woods. The website does not state the location of these test sites or how close they are to the UCSC campus. Continuing on regarding Lockheed Martin, a page on the Statistica website shows that the annual sales of Lockheed Martin in the United States amounted to $49 billion last year, more than double the amount of sales that were made in 2000. You can assume that the city of Santa Cruz follows this trend. We don't know for sure if it's an outlier. There doesn't seem to be any public information about how much Santa Cruz spends on Lockheed Martin, but given the fact that they have one there, it is likely funded by the city. How much of the city's funding goes to it, however, may remain confidential for a long time. The lack of available information regarding the city's spending on Lockheed Martin seems to be part of a larger issue where, as previously stated, any information regarding the military spending seems to be really hard to find. For example, if you look up the Santa Cruz education budget, you get pretty concrete information pretty easily from official sources. However, if you look at the Santa Cruz military spending, you just get information about the spending of the military as a whole, the city as a whole, with no specific military information. Even trying to get more specific doesn't do you too good, and only gives you more data that can help you estimate rather than more concrete information. On one hand, it does make sense for this information to remain confidential, but personally, I feel that people should be aware of what exactly their tax dollars are paying for and how much of it goes to the military, especially given everything that is happening in the world right now. This type of information should be just as accessible. However, we can still make rough estimates with the information that is given. According to the Santa Cruz County website, the proposed budget for the 2024-2025 year is $1.126 billion. According to the Democratic House website, the 2024 budget for the United States Department of Defense was $824.3 billion. This means that the city of Santa Cruz likely accounts for a very small amount of the military budget, but it being a small amount does not mean that it's insignificant. The military budget is likely a significant fraction of the proposed budget, but a very small fraction of the overall military budget. Overall, I believe that it is a bit strange how difficult it is to find concrete information about how much money is being given to the military in Santa Cruz. Personally, I believe that the information should be public, since it comes from the tax dollars that we civilians would pay for. Plus, it being secret, I think, will only lead to more suspicion, since it makes it look like they are hiding something. Although there may be reasons that I am not considering, I do think that information should be as available as the money spent on education and healthcare is, for clarity's sake.